Welcome back everyone to the WalkMe podcast. We are trying a new form. Kita melalui Zoom, soalnya hari ini lagi pada hobi WFH. But we would like to thank our sponsors. First of all, this video is made possible by our favorite local exchange, Peluang. We will be having a special promo if you use Peluang in the near future. So if you want to know more about Peluang, kita bisa ngasih duit gratis. Come join our Discord. Itu airdrop, yes. It's a very specific airdrop for WalkMe only. Gokil kan? Makanya lu
Mantap.
mendingan masuk Discord kita dulu, so you don't miss out. Oke, before we start, kita hari ini topiknya cuma mau bahas airdrop. Orang kepikiran airdrop itu apa sih? Kenapa orang kadang-kadang bisa dapat duit gratis melalui crypto? Benar-benar zero capital. Lu kalau investasi trading kayak gue, kayak Austin, main NFT lah, mau apapun itu, kalian butuh duit. Tapi kalau misalkan airdrop, uang yang kalian butuhin tuh bisa di bawah 1 juta rupiah. Dan lo tuh bisa dapat 30 juta. Nggak lebay.
Iya,
Dan nggak ada resiko.
bener.
Resikonya paling ya cuman lo buang-buang gas fee kalau misalkan lo
Iya,
ngerjainnya salah ya kan. Oke,
bener.
sebelum kita mulai ngomongin airdrop, gue bakal jelasin lebih lagi airdrop itu apa. Airdrop sebenarnya tuh cuma marketing gimmick. Marketing strategi yang dipakai blockchain baru untuk menarik user menggunakan produk yang mereka belum launching. Kenapa mereka membutuhkan airdrop itu? Itu monetary incentive. Mereka pengen narik user baru, pengen tahu ini salah errornya itu di mana di program-program yang built on top of this blockchain. Ibaratnya kalau di dunia nyata seperti Gojek ngasih promo zaman dulu. Lu lihat sekarang Gojek pakai mode hemat lah, pakai apa? Zaman dulu diskon untuk delivery kan bisa sampai 0 rupiah. Itu contoh airdrop di company Web2. Kalau di company Web3 dikasihnya token. Token itu bisa langsung di-convert ke USDT. Contoh terakhir, itu Arbitrum yang lagi hot-hotnya. Gue sendiri cuma dapat sedikit soalnya nggak busy hunting airdrop, tapi gue nyari yang paling gampangnya aja. Total waktu yang gue keluarin buat nyobain berbagai aplikasi di blockchain Arbitrum tersebut kurang dari 1 jam. Dan hasil yang gue dapat sekitar 2.500 Arbitrum token. Di peak-nya itu sempat harganya $5. Tapi orang susah claim kan terakhir. Gue terakhir claim dan jual di 1,5. Total itu dapat 37, oh sorry, 3.750 US dollar.
Wow,
700 itu sekitar ya 50 juta.
what the
Cuman
heck?
sejam. Dulu gue kerja profesional, itu gaji gue 11 bulan kali, bos. Makanya,
What the
di
heck?
kripto tuh,
Lah, pas Arbitrum gitu, lu ngapain aja inside the blockchain?
jujur dulu kayak kebantu gara-gara gue main Magic Token juga, kata si, siapa namanya? Ivan ya?
Devan. Oh, Ivan.
Ivan, Ivan salah satu anak ICCA kita.
Hmm,
Tapi gue emang nyobain, gue punya list waktu itu, a guide on how to do Arbitrum
I
airdrops.
see.
Gue nyobain semua, gue juga pernah post di WalkMe, tapi kelihatannya tuh banyak yang nggak ngerjain, either intimidated gara-gara pusing atau gimana, tapi kita bakal make it a regular thing, nggak tahu monthly,
Hmm,
nggak tahu kapan, tapi kita set a time, kayak contoh jam 11 siang hari Minggu, hari Sabtu, kita join semua di Discord, kita do it together, biar semua orang mengikuti proses yang sama, dan yang kerjain bareng-bareng, jadi kayak ngerjain PR bareng, group project, tapi
iya.
group project di sini dapat duit, enak gitu. Nah,
Arbitrum berapa lama ya pas keluarnya ya? 6 bulan atau setahun sih?
not even gue ngelakuin Arbitrum kayak masih tahun ini deh,
Oke.
ngelakuin
Tiga bulanan
tas-tas
ya.
airdropnya ya.
Iya, iya, iya. Tas airdrop.
Ntar, ntar yang pasti kita ada spesialis airdrop juga di sini tuh si Bevan. Dia bakal ngetes dulu yang mana yang paling gampang sampai ke paling susah. Jadi ntar kita bakal ngelakuin sistemnya di WalkMe Discord dari yang paling gampang ke yang paling susah. Jadi kalau misalnya kalian mau
Bener.
stop di tengah, udah nggak worth ngerjain yang susah, ya udah nggak usah ngerjain yang
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
gampang-gampangnya. The first 15 minutes, kalau lu dapet $1.000, why not?
Ya
Lu udah
gini
kayak,
deh, kalau kita ibaratnya ngomong, all we have to do is interact with the blockchain and see
ya,
that there's transactions. That's all they're looking for, kan? Nah,
yes.
I guess my next question is, since we're in the topic of like introducing like what airdrops are,
Hmm.
mengapa mereka company-nya ya, blockchain company itu ngasih token to users kayak kita untuk make. What's the deal? Kenapa gitu?
Adoption. Simply,
Hmm,
ya. Jadi kenapa adoption itu penting juga kan ya? Blockchain ibaratnya the value is based on active users, mau itu
bener.
month, mau itu daily. Jadi kalau misalnya udah punya token ya, lu udah lebih mungkin untuk terus jadi pengguna di
Oke,
blockchain tersebut.
oke.
Makanya terakhir OP itu kan salah satu optimism ya, OP.
Ya, optimism ya.
Terakhir salah satu blockchain paling gila yang dapat user paling banyak instan gara-gara di airdrop semua Ethereum punya ini kan.
Iya,
Ethereum punya, holder
iya,
Ethereum
iya.
berapa banyak? The biggest blockchain.
Yap, yap.
Nah,
Oke.
oke, sebelum kita lanjut lagi, gue bahas ada beberapa tipe airdrop. Jadi nggak semua tuh sama. Ada standar itu yang benar-benar cuman kayak sign up yang paling gampang. Ada bounty yang lu bisa nyari bug lah, lu bisa nyari promotional work, atau lu harus melakukan task-task yang lebih susah. Ada juga lu holder airdrop. Itu kalau misalkan lu megang NFT atau lu megang sesuatu seperti Ethereum yang ada forknya, itu namanya hard fork airdrop, tapi bukan holder. Ada juga yang eksklusif, ada yang raffle, sistem raffle yang lu mesti undi-undian, tapi ya itu mayoritas tipe airdrop. Nah, sekarang Austin bakal menjelaskan lebih banyak soal airdrop-airdrop yang bakal datang, ada apa aja nih?
Iya, jadi the last airdrop that we saw yang bagus banget and something yang very very hype is Arbitrum kan.
Ya,
Ya Arbitrum kita bisa ngomong itu adalah untuk tahun ini lumayan lumayan hype
jackpot.
dibanding airdrop-airdrop lain. Before that there was Blur. Tapi Blur kan itu spesifik untuk NFT. Kalau misalnya ini Arbitrum itu blockchain kan. It's a new
Yes.
blockchain. Jadi mereka memang kasih airdropnya kepada users yang interact sebelum mereka launching tokennya, biar mereka ada users lah istilahnya.
Ya,
Now, this particular document, this particular screenshot ini lumayan interesting. Gara-gara kita hari ini mau ngomongin tiga. Ada ZK Sync, ada Layer Zero, sama ada Lens Protocol. Something to note is that Lens Protocol nggak dikasih lihat di airdrop comparison, tetapi I have good reason for that, and we will save it for the last one. So right now ZK Sync funds raise kita bisa lihat ada $458 million dibanding Arbitrum yang hanya $123 million. Now, Anthony, untuk market sekarang Arbitrum itu di mana itu?
market
Price-nya
arbit.
coba kita lihat.
Yang lebih penting, coba gua cek, Arbitrum tuh masih di angka 1,2.
Oke, market cap
Market cap Arbitrum, kalau kita lihat dari coin market cap, itu di ranking 37. Gila kan sih?
oke. Itu market cap totalnya berapa?
1,5. 1,5
Billion.
billion. Yes,
Billion
sir.
dollars. Okay,
Billion
so
dollar.
we can give it like a little bit of apa namanya of a comparison lah ya. Kita kalau misalnya funds raise, kita banding aja. First and foremost funds raise between Arbitrum and ZK Sync. Kita bisa bilang ZK Sync ada 3,5 kalinya Arbitrum. Now,
Ya.
token untuk ZK Sync is already confirmed. So untuk kalian yang mikir-pikir kalau ZK Sync emang ada token atau enggak, udah pasti ada. And we are going to see a big airdrop coming in only to those yang interact. So now kita balik lah. ZK Sync itu sebenarnya apa sih? So ZK Sync is a blockchain in and of itself. Itu ada mainnetnya, ada testnetnya. Nah testnetnya dulu kita sebenarnya I use the testnet and itu pakai Goerli faucet. So you use fake tokens to basically interact with their testnet to see how good the blockchain is. Now they just recently launched their mainnet. Baru minggu ini hari Senin kayaknya. Just this Monday they actually released their mainnet and it's been going really well because a lot of decentralized applications is built upon it. Seperti decentralized exchange, they also have their bridging mechanics from Ethereum mainnet, BSC, Polygon masuk ke ZK Sync mainnet. On top of that, mereka juga bisa mint NFT seperti Ethereum, Polygon, all that. Now,
Jatuhnya layer 2 ya ini ya? Layer 2-nya
iya
Ethereum.
jatuhnya persis layer 2, benar. Seperti
Oke.
Polygon ya, jadi lebih cepat gitu istilahnya. So we'll see that ZK Sync is the number one farm airdrop right now, and honestly, I think it's not too late. And all you guys have to do is basically go to ZK Sync, and you can use your wallet, like your MetaMask wallet, like right on your browser. Tinggal repo-nya tuh harus pakai blockchain-nya ZK Sync. And for WalkMe fam, we already have a document ready for you guys in order for you guys to follow, biar gampang. And this is all made in-house. And so we're using the different things we did. Ya, kita pakai cara kita. And it's really easy, right? We just follow the steps, and there you go. You should have your ZK Sync. Now, note that this will be the drop of the token. Airdropnya tuh 6 months to 1 year lah. So you guys should do it either weekly or monthly juga nggak apa-apa. Yang penting ada transaksinya di dalam mainnet mereka. And I should
Jadi
be really
ini
good.
ngelakuinnya harus rutin ya. Kayak mendingan tuh kayak melakukannya jangan sekali doang tapi berkali-kali gitu ya.
Yeah, so good question. And I think there's a lot of kayak ways to do it. Ada orang yang cuman sekali and they still get airdrop. Cuman kan kita gini deh kita ngomong ya, we shoot a barrel gitu randomly, satu harusnya kena lah ya.
Ya.
Tapi kalau misalnya kita shoot sekali belum tentu kena. Jadi kita ngomongnya kayak the more times we have footprints in the blockchain, the more chances we should get. Itulah like the reason why I say we should do it weekly atau monthly. Tapi juga, then again we go back to your point, Anthony, ada gas fee. Nah gas fee itu pasti kena kita $1, $2, and it will add up if you do it daily, weekly, monthly, ya kan? If you do it once, ya. Kalau misalnya kita bilang sih gas aja, because you might spend $100 on gases, not more than that, and then you'll get what, 3K worth of airdrops. Tapi again, this is not financial advice. This is just educational purposes untuk kalian yang mau masuk into airdrop hunting gitu. Istilahnya jatuhnya di situ. So ZK Sync number 1 right now. The more people are talking about it on Twitter, but we will definitely keep you guys updated on anything new that's happening on ZK Sync specifically. So that is our first go-to. ZK Sync is our number 1 airdrop alpha. You guys still have time. Gas aja terus.
Yes.
Okay. So actually, before that, do you have any questions for ZK Sync?
No, I think it's pretty clear. Tapi sebenarnya ya, let's say gue nembak total sempat 5 kali. Yang kena tuh cuma sekali, atau gue tuh bisa kena berkali-kali. Jadi misalkan gue dapat 100 ZK Sync ZK tokens.
Ya. Yeah.
Gue bisa nggak kalau misalkan gue kena 3 kali gue dapat 300 gitu? Atau sebenarnya gue cuma bisa dapat 100?
So the way it works kalau misalnya kita ngomongin airdrop, itu ada bisa dibilang kategori-kategori lah ya. Yang pertama for sure kategorinya itu transactions. Yang lu nanya at, it's like if we do it more times, do we get more tokens? Not necessarily, tapi more chances to get more tokens. So it's a bit different. Itu belum tentu lu dapat, misalnya gue sekali nih, lu 3 kali, you're gonna get 3 times more than me, itu belum tentu. Tapi you'll have more chances to get more. Paham?
Ya, ngerti.
Jadi kalau misalnya lu transact 3 kali, there's transaction footprint of 3 times. You might get the first transaction, you might get 100 ZK Sync tokens. The second time, you might get 20. The third time, you might get 10. So it might scale off, but still you'll get more than me. Gitu.
Kita nggak tahu ya itu formulanya ya. Mereka mungkin sendiri kan. Iya.
Exactly. So that's why you have experienced airdrop hunters yang dulu udah mencoba beberapa format lah ya, beberapa strategi untuk mendapatkan atau maximize your airdrop tokens. Gitu aja sih. And so that's why the reason why I say you guys should do everything we tell you to do, or even more. If you guys have any decentralized apps within the ZK Sync mainnet, terus kalian tuh kasih tahu kita, wow, we'll be more than happy to, give you guys credit for it. Benar kan? It's like you guys are giving us something new. And so don't be afraid. I guess the one thing I can tell you guys is that don't be afraid to explore. However, be very cautious with airdrops. Kalian mesti pakai burner wallet.
Ya.
Kenapa?
Istilahnya pakai kondom, bos.
Disensor. Ya, gitulah istilahnya, kita kayak hati-hati aja in case our wallets get drained or maybe the mainnet itu emang abis di bridge dari Ethereum ke ZK Sync terus mereka nggak bisa nge-bridge balik, kan agak serem ya. So you guys should be careful. Istilahnya gini deh, Kalau funds yang kalian masukin ke airdrop hunting itu just think about it as investment. Kalau misalnya like put the money you are willing to lose. So now that goes to my second point. Berapa should we invest? Right? How much should we invest is a pretty big question. And for me answers itu lain-lain. Mungkin untuk saya for me 0.1 0.2 is more than enough. Tapi kalau misalnya untuk Anthony dia 1 ETH is nothing. So like he'll just go in on it. 1 ETH dia banyak tuh kan. Dia pasti harusnya ya the more you put in, the more airdrop tokens you get. That should be common, cuman belum tentu juga. Yeah, we don't know. So my saran is do as much you can put in as much you can risk without breaking the bank. For me, it would be 0.1, 0.2. For you guys,
Gue
maybe
juga
ada yang
pakainya 0.1 sih, soalnya murah, gas fee-nya nggak bakal
ya
kemakan banyak kok.
$1.
Yang kalian mesti ingat, ini bukan gasnya Ethereum. Gasnya Ethereum tuh emang terkenal
Mahal.
kurang nggak sopan lah. Itu lu sekali lewat bisa dikenain $40-50 kan. Gue nggak tahu ya sekarang. Gue
Iya.
belum transaksi NFT lagi, tapi setahu gue segituan.
Nah, gara-gara untuk udah layer 2 Ethereum sih sebenarnya udah oke ya gasnya. Cuman kalau
Ya.
misalnya kontraknya, misalnya ini NFT, kita off topic ini rabbit hole aja. Kalau misalnya NFT-nya low volume, kalau NFT-nya kecil ya, small, they don't allocate a lot of nodes into that. Itu lebih tinggi, like even if it's low volume, the price is gonna be high. NFT yang kayak ya bukan dibilang rak tapi juga kecil ya. It's smaller, itu kalau misalnya you wanna buy an NFT itu bisa tinggi, bisa $20. Tapi kalau misalnya high volume NFT and if they're known in the ecosystem, it's like $1-2 still. So mirip-mirip dengan ZK Sync atau airdrop hunting. It's $1-2 I can say. I've been using it every day now. So yeah, there's that.
Oke.
So now we move on to the second.
What else do we have here?
Okay. So for the second one, we have Layer Zero. Layer Zero udah di sini, it's listed here. Tokennya belum confirm. It is likely though, and I can basically explain why. And the funds raised is 143, mirip-mirip Arbitrum lah. So we got this. I really like the website already. However, ini Layer Zero has, we can say there's Layer 1, Layer 2. I don't know if there's Layer 3, but this is Layer Zero. What's interesting about Layer Zero, ini ada it's a protocol buat Layer Zero. Sebenarnya itu di bawah Layer 1. So we can say ini Ethereum, ini Polygon Layer 2 ya. Layer Zero ini, it's like on the bottom. And I'll explain it in the simplest terms if I can. So misalnya kita ada blockchain, kita ada Ethereum di blockchain, Ethereum mainnet lah ya. And we want to bridge it over to BSC to sell it there to whatever it is, right? Like we want to sell it to USDC, USDT, whatever. Jadi kita ngambil nih wallet kita interact with a bridge from Ethereum into BSC atau Binance BNB chain. Now, there's going to be 3 transactions there. Ethereum mainnet into the bridge, into your bridge, and then into BNB chain. Itu ada 3. Nah, Layer Zero will fix that, meaning endpoint-nya, jadi Ethereum mainnet endpoint and BNB chain endpoint itu dibikin jadi satu. So all you have to do is one transaction. If you want to change from Ethereum, iya, nggak usah lompat-lompat. Sekarang one transaction, you can do everything, and it will go back to your wallet, the mainnet wallet. That's why it says seamlessly connected blockchains. Jadi itu mereka mau cari endpoint-endpointnya from different blockchains, and they're going to work together with them, and they make it one transaction. Now, the best part about it, gas fee-nya udah nggak bayar 3 kali.
Iya.
Now
Jadi
it's only one time.
Mudah lagi.
Benar. Protocol fee. And that's the reason why when I say it's likely, tokennya itu likely, because there's going to be this thing called protocol fee. And the protocol fee harus bayar dengan
Layer Zero-nya.
Mereka, betul itu. So that's another reason why. So Layer Zero, it's very similar. Airdrop huntingnya kita akan kasih dokumennya, and it will just be pretty much bridging. It's going to be pretty much interacting with this Layer Zero blockchain endpointnya aja. And yeah, pretty much it. It's very straightforward. For this one, infonya akan datang lebih banyak, but I wanted you guys to know how it works before putting money in or trying to hunt for this airdrop. So yeah, this is pretty much straightforward. It's similar to ZK Sync where you guys just have to interact with the protocol. And that's it.
Kalau kalian
Nggak-
takut juga, just join us in Discord and we can do it
Iya.
together.
Benar,
Bakal-
benar itu. Benar. Okay, so there's this going on here, layer 0, and the last but not least, airdrop itu my favorite one, and that is because Lens Protocol is a Web3 social media
Decentralized
protocol,
social media ya.
yeah, decentralized social media platform, I guess you could say. Now, Lens in and of itself is a protocol. However, the applications built on top of this protocol is what we say decentralized Web3 applications. Now, that's where it's crazy, and I can show you guys like what I've been doing in my profile. So, Lens Protocol, at the end of the day, is they aim to be the Web3 social media platform, right? Misalnya kita mau pakai Twitter, nanti ada namanya Lenster. Kalau kita mau pakai YouTube-nya, nanti mereka juga ada decentralized applications-nya. And the crazy thing about it is that if you follow somebody on Lens Protocol, it becomes an NFT. Jadi itu bener-bener burn into your wallet. It's
Jadi
burn
nggak bisa
into your wallet.
unfollow dong. Kalau misalkan
Sorry?
lu putus,
Kalau mau unfollow,
Kalau
iya,
gimana?
paham. Ya bisa sih, tinggal
bisa.
transfer kemana gitu ya, atau
Oh.
delete NFT-nya gitu, transfer out. Gitu ada beberapa cara untuk leave your ex behind, your ex's social profile behind gitulah. So
Iya,
yeah,
unfollow, jangan sampai lu ke-burn ya kayak bangsat. Gue udah pernah.
iya di burn NFT-nya di burn gitu. Kan psychologically it's better if you burn the NFT atau burn your past gitu kan ada.
Iya, oke.
So
And Wakmi udah ada loh, Lens Protocol, keren nggak?
oh ya?
Iya,
Kayak
bro.
kita harus perlu mulai deh. Soalnya ini, I think this is gonna be a big thing in the future, where Twitter, even though it is Web3, it's still a Web2 company at its heart.
Yeah,
Lens
I agree.
Protocol, my gosh, man, Lens Protocol is gonna be something big because I personally have been using it myself. Now, in order to interact with the protocol, you guys must have a profile. And unfortunately, the profile is not free, so you do need investments in this. Kecuali kalian emang pernah waktu itu ikut Ethereum Denver ya. It's a conference where you guys get free a claim to this handle. So when you do claim handle, ini biasanya kalian tuh pasti nggak ada sih. It's for early access for community members. But you guys can buy it in OpenSea. So if you guys go to OpenSea, pasti udah ada
Wakmi
nih.
is an early community member in Lens Protocol.
Asik.
That's a big flex.
It is a big flex.
Lihat nggak? Bisa kasih lihat nggak ya?
Nggak kelihatan sih itu.
Kita punya Lens benar-benar di offer terus. Soalnya we are the first wakmimedia.lens.
Asik.
Jadi kita udah bukan
Wakmimedia.
ID, kita wakmimedia.lens.
My God. Wow. Okay, so actually from this ya kalian bisa lihat nih OpenSea floor price-nya itu naik mulu sebenarnya. Kemarin nih dari Desember 22 lah ya, 2022. It was at 0.03 ETH and now it's at 0.1. Jadi benar-benar ini orang tuh anticipate this particular protokol untuk airdrop, and sebenarnya tokennya tuh belum confirm si Lens protocol. However, back to what I said in layer 0, there is going to be a protocol fee. So every time, and what protocol fees are is when you use Lenster, misalnya kita ngomongin kita ke Lenster nih, it's persis kayak Twitter. Tuh, orang ada GIF-nya, orang bisa posting their own vacation, you can like it, you can mirror it, you can comment. Now there's this thing called collect. Collect is something like bookmark. Cuman instead of just bookmarking and saving it to your profile, you actually mint it. You collect it and it's burned into your wallet. It's stamped into your wallet. Yeah. So when you collect it. Now, the kicker is that some people, misalnya, they want to make a thread and they want to make it a paid thread. Sorry, bukan thread ya, thread. Misalnya ada info tentang something new, or they want to make a thread about a particular coin, their shilling, or whatever it is. Orang kalau misalnya mau access this particular information harus bayar. They can make it paid. Gitu.
Jadi UGC, user generated content-nya tuh orang bisa langsung menerima reward-nya not just in likes.
Exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that. Exactly. So you can actually sell your content for money, basically
Oh,
the token. Wow. Okay, so yeah, user-generated content paid, and then the Lens protocol will take a fee from it. Hence, why the reason pasti atau most likely ada tokennya sendiri, gitu.
Yeah.
Now, in order to again interact with this protocol, you guys have to have a handle and do as much as you want. I do Lenster, and every day all I do is make AI generated pictures and posting the picture and the prompt, and that's basically what I do every single day. Also, a lot of the people from Lens Protocol, the main team uses Lenster indefinitely. Mereka very active in here. They engage with the community. Everything about Lens Protocol you need, mereka bisa tanya-tanya di Lenster. So this is the number one decentralized social media application in the Lens Protocol right now. And you guys should get on it if you guys have the chance or are willing to spend that 235 USDC to buy a profile. So there you go. That's it for my airdrop alpha. We've got it all covered. We got ZK Sync, Layer 0, and Lens Protocol. ZK Sync and Layer 0 are pretty much minimal investment needed. Lens Protocol is a higher investment. However, these three are my alpha. So thank you guys for listening, and I'll give it back to you, Ed.
Thank you guys. Jadi kita bakal continue updating you guys with any potential airdrops biar kalian juga nggak miss out kalau misalnya bisa dapat duit gratis di crypto. Soalnya nggak semuanya sebenarnya segitu beresiko kayak trading. Trading has a very high risk. Tapi kalau yang ini benar-benar hal yang bisa dimanfaatin sih sebagai native crypto users. And if you are new dan takut ngerjain sesuatu kayak begini because it's kind of intimidating, join us. Kita bakal ngelakuin ini bareng-bareng. Okay, maybe that's all for today's episode. And thank you everyone for tuning in.
Alright, don't forget in our Discord pasti akan ada the document needed to follow what we just said today. So you guys don't have to rewatch the video. Alright, thank you all so much for tuning in.
You.
We'll see you on the next podcast.